Yo. Before we start with anything, Chris, welcome back, bro. It is so nice to see you.
Good to be back. Glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? The background might be a little different. You know, we moved again for like the 5th time. So, excuse my pause, but happy to be back.
Word, bro. Nah, it's glad to see you back. Only thing I hate is you wearing a Tom Brady jersey again. Not because you just wanted to, because homie decided to come back.
Breaking news.
NFL free agency started today. So much news we got to get into. Like, it's going to be crazy because there's been so many different signings already. Baseball's back, and we already have a big trade from the Yankees that we got to talk about that we saw last night. March Madness started up. There'll probably be some shit talking in there in between all that. But for the people who have never seen this is the Radical Souls podcast. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
I'm Ethan.
Yo, it's been a minute, man. Like, Chris, I'm so glad you're back, bro. You don't understand. Me and Ethan have to keep talking about you being here in spirit and how we got to just talk your crap for you. Now you get to talk your crap. It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, we back in full action.
Facts. Yo, somebody subscribed. I don't know who it was. If you want to leave your name in the comments, shout out to you. It's been a minute.
Appreciate it.
Subscriber, but you're helping that push. Push to 200. Even though we're still like at 107, but you know, it's a process. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
But yo, there's so much to talk about that we're gonna have to just get into this. So let's get it.
Get into it.
Where would you guys like to start? Do we start with Tom Brady?
No, I want to start.
So Chris, go ahead and talk, bro. What happens now with the Buccaneers, bro?
So what happened was school started again. You know what I'm saying? He had to go pick up his kids at the little daycare, little roundabout, and he was like, you know what? Nah, this ain't me. And last night he had a little, you know, he talked to me, he called me, and he was like, yo, he's like, Chris, what should I do? I was like, yo, son, come back, son. Like, Tampa needs you.
That's why you went into the bathroom at one point.
Yeah, I had to step away for a second. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, Brady, we need you back, son. And then all of a sudden, there's a tweet. And he's like, yo, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? My place is on the field. And I was like, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And we connected. We had beef prior to, but you know what I'm saying? He wanted us to chip, so we cool now. But he back. It's all good. We're going back to, you know what I'm saying? I think we're going back this year. Oh.
That Rams team, bro. I don't know. I got to see who they bring back.
I don't know. But with that being said, yes, Brady is back. How do you guys feel about it?
I'll let you go first because you know me, man.
23 seasons. When is he gonna be done? He thought this was the one. Thought he was done. He has more rings than Jordan. Why is he still in the NFL?
Listen, y'all had it better than me. I'm a Jets fan, bro. This dude was a Patriot. I had to watch him 2 years, twice a year, smack us, and if we made the playoffs, pray to God that we would beat him, which we did one time, or just not see him at all because I used to be tired of him. And to see him come back again, I was like, yo.
Yeah, as a Bucs fan, as like, you know, being from Tampa, like, I feel like this can either go one or two ways. This could be like a Brett Favre moment where like he comes back and he's complete trash and everybody's like, you should have just stayed retired. Or, you know, it can go the opposite way and he wins another championship and he's like, all right, now I'm going to retire because I won a championship and this is how it's going to go down. Like, then there's that. So, but I don't know. He played really well. He played really well last year, even towards the end. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was just like the goggles on of being like a Bucs fan, but I really didn't see. I didn't see too much of his, you know, missing a step or anything like that. I don't know if you guys saw that.
He was good last year, man. The only thing was the interceptions, but that comes with the offensive scheme, as we've seen with Jameis Winston before. So, risking no biscuit, you feel me? That's the offensive mindset. All I know is the good thing is that he has that mentality. The bad thing is somebody spent $518,000 on his last touchdown. So I know that dude is like, yo, please don't make it to another postseason in your career. That could be his last postseason touchdown. But
could you imagine?
I don't think that's gonna be his last touchdown or last postseason touchdown. So homie just lost maybe $300,000 or $400,000, and his wife is probably somewhere killing him if he's married.
Definitely lost more than half the value of that football overnight. Could you imagine like betting into something like sports memorabilia that usually isn't that like volatile, where like it'll change overnight, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna buy this. Yo, it's Tom Brady, and just loses half his money right off a rip.
I'll cry. I would cry in my sleep. Like,
Bro, I
I'd be
won't sleep.
I'd be sending Brady hate mail all year until he replenished my 500,000.
Bro, people don't like to wish injuries on people. I know that dude is wishing for a career-ending injury, like on the first play of the year.
Fact.
But we've seen free agency open. There's been plenty of news there. We got Mitchell Trubisky going to the Steelers. How do you guys feel about that? It's a 2-year
Happy.
deal.
I'm happy, exquisite, excited.
Why are you so happy, Chris?
Because he was rumored to go to the Giants, and I was like, yo, I don't think that's the quarterback competition that the Giants need.
Nah.
I don't think that's a good fit at all. I don't think we need another fucking stone in the pocket. So, no. So, glad he's going to the Steelers.
I don't know. I don't like it for the Steelers. I'm thinking that they're going to go all out for Deshaun Watson, but maybe they're kind of scared of the optic. So I guess this is the route to go.
It definitely fits the scheme well. It definitely, he definitely is like, I don't know, a younger Big Ben than like,
man, Big Ben.
yeah.
E, what was your reaction to the news, man? Gonna be in your division now.
Going off what Chris said, I'm kind of happy they go to the Giants because that would just been a really bad look for the Giants. I'm a little relieved because he's not good. I've never been impressed by him. Like he's just there. Like with the Bengals and how he played those couple games, I don't like him at all.
Even out of college, I never got the hype around him. I never understood it. So, maybe I'm missing something.
Nah, you're not missing anything. And then back to Ethan's division, you got Jarvis Landry getting released by the Browns. You had another wide receiver that they just released for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, hopefully the Giants can pick that up.
I doubt it. He's at that.
They need a receiver, bro. Yeah, very true.
The rumored teams are the Bills and the Chiefs. I pray to God he don't go to the Bills. Could you imagine Jarvis Landry and Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen, bro?
But imagine the Chiefs, bro. It seems. I mean,
I don't gotta worry about the Chiefs that much because I'm playing them now. Because we played them this year, so it might be a while until we play them. Imagine us having to play the Bills twice a year, and me watching that as a Jets fan, just like wow.
Yeah. What else? Did you guys talk about what's his name, Mr. Rogers, on that extension deal?
Of course. What would you take on that?
That was a big, like, I really thought he was hanging up the hat, not gonna lie. But that 4-year deal, or is it 4-year or 3-year?
4 years.
4 years, right? I feel like that's a little push. I would have gave him 2. Because I don't think he's gonna last 4 years. Like,
now you got the Devontae Adams situation where he's like refusing to take a franchise tag. So now what do you do with him?
I don't know. You're gonna have to move some money around because if you gave Aaron Rodgers, at the end of his career, 4 years, $50 million, you got to give Devontae Adams at the peak of his career some money. Like, he's been loyal to your franchise. He's been the number 1 receiver. So
I mean, bro,
you got to pay him.
What was it? They gave Mike Williams 4 years, $80 million, right?
Yep.
So imagine, like Mike Williams ain't Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams could easily get like $30 million a year if I'm not bugging out.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe it. Damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild to see. What else did we have? We had James Conner going back to the Cardinals. You had Chase Edmonds saying "F this, I'm out," going to the Dolphins. The Bengals signed Alex Kappa. Chris, you're a Bucs fan. Alex Kappa, offensive lineman.
He's a really good offensive lineman. So that's a really good addition to the Bengals. You gotta appreciate. Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta appreciate the Bengals for knowing what they need and going out to get it. So
yeah,
finally do.
I was about to say, y'all gonna end that poor kid's career like by the age of 20. Like, I mean, he's already like 30 out of college, but
we can't have that.
What
do you got?
What else do you guys need?
Just more O-linemen everywhere around, from end to end. The best O-linemen we got.
My bad, Chris. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say what y'all think about Watson. I saw that today he's meeting with the Panthers and the Saints. So,
if I'm him, I'm going to the Saints. I'm not even gonna waste my time with the Panthers. because the Saints always have a decent defense. They got, I mean, I don't know what Michael Thomas is going to be, but you at least got Alvin Kamara. And, they might have to add a receiver or two, but I think, well, they're a salary cap hell, though, granted, so that's going to be very complicated for him to go to the Saints. Like I said, my favorite team for him was the Steelers originally, because I thought that was going to be the better option out of all the teams, but now I don't know with Mitchell Trubisky, so I don't know. He's going to end up on a bad situation, some way, shape, or form, honestly.
Facts. I don't know. If you're a team, do you still go out there and like reach for him and give him money he deserves? You think so? With all the baggage that comes with him, even if it's baggage that isn't like claimed or isn't like solidified, you still gotta like.
I mean, he's still going through a civil lawsuit, so we gotta.
That's what I'm saying. Like exactly.
I mean, I hate to say it, but look at Big Ben before he won a ring. I mean, those.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Almost the same thing. I know this is even worse, but I mean,
yeah, but
right after.
Wasn't there a lot of the cases like disclaimed after a minute for Deshaun Watson?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird situation. I know a lot of football players came out once he wasn't going to face criminal charge and kind of said, like, oh, y'all kind of set him up. That was kind of weird. That was shady. So it's a really weird situation that I don't think we've ever seen. Because we've always seen, like, 1 or 2 allegations. 22 allegations is like, whoa.
Yeah.
So on the field, I mean, it's Deshaun Watson. Off the field, like you said, that's what becomes a problem, which I think that's why the Steelers didn't go all in for him.
True that.
What do you think, Chris? Being a Giants fan, being a NFL fan, what do you think?
I really thought the Giants were going to make a push for him. Not gonna lie, I would have taken him, even if you'd sign him on a couple years. Give him. I mean, it's not the first time a team like the Giants is given, X amount of dollars for X amount of play. So this will be just another one of those occasions. If it ends up working out, it works out. But I was hoping that they would have pushed for him.
I mean, they still could, but they want to trust Daniel Jones, I guess, not to give up much.
God, I can only do like another year, Daniel Jones. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you.
It's bad, bro. Like, this is like, okay, I get the first 2 years, 3 years, but now you're rolling into a couple more than that, and it's kind of like, all right, why are we still here? Why are we still battling? This guy can't even run 50 yards without tripping on himself. Like,
cut your losses.
Yeah, just cut your losses at that point. See what you can get for him at this, in this market. But
so,
what do I know?
You're just some guy on a podcast with 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
With a Brady jersey on,
with a Brady jersey on.
But we're gonna leave it there for football because we gotta wait and see what happens with all these signings because the tampering period opened an hour ago, so I know there's still a bunch of stuff going on. I actually wanted to bring up the Yankees because it was a crazy trade the Yankees pulled off. Me and Chris being Yankee fans, Ethan being a Mets fan, it's gonna be inside outside looking into this situation. So we got Josh Donaldson, Isiah Kiner-Falefa, and a catcher that we're probably never gonna use, and we gave up Gary Sanchez and Urhsela. Chris, what's your take on it? And then I'll let Ethan go, and then I'll go on this.
I'm like a 60-40, 60 positive on it because I really, really, really don't like Gary Sanchez. He's a strikeout machine. He's a fucking horrible catcher. He might as well catch on his knees with thing like this because he can't catch anything that goes past his his waistline. He's a horrible catcher. So many pitchers from like the Yankee bullpen have said that they rather go with what's that guy's name? Kyle, the Asian guy. Yeah, that they rather catch with him than Gary Sanchez. And like you put a manager in that predicament. This guy doesn't have a bat, but Gary Sanchez has a bat, and it's like, all right, like what do I do? And it's been like that for years. So it was only about time that they traded him. I've been saying trade Gary Sanchez for the past like 3 years.
You've been saying it on here all the time.
Yeah, so it sucks that you had to give up Urhsela because he was a really young talent and could have been great per se, but you still have Andujar hopefully he comes out all right from being robbed in DR. But you know, I think the optics from the outside, like from the inside, as being a Yankees fan, I think will be alright. And I really like the addition of Donaldson. So, and then now I really don't know anything about any of the other players. So
The shortstop, he's going to be like on a 1-year deal. That's going to be like a stopgap because remember that they're like talking about the 2 young kids, Volpe and somebody else that we have in the minors. So they're kind of like trying to see what they're going to do there. I think they might sign someone still. I don't know. We got to see what happens money wise.
and I like Donaldson, bro. I mean, Donaldson, like for what he is, he's not bad, bro.
He's not bad. He's just a dickhead, for lack of better term. And I think it's funny how Garrett Cole and him have that beef. So I'm curious to see what happens there. Because they've been going back and forth for a few years now about Josh Thompson being on steroids. That Garrett Cole be claiming. You got Josh Donaldson claiming that this dude Garrett Cole's juicing and using pine tar and all this ridiculous stuff. So it's gonna be interesting. Ethan, Mets fan looking in. What do you think? Who do you think won this trade?
I mean, now looking at like the details on the trade, you guys definitely won. I mean, I think every time we want a podcast talking about the Yankees, Chris always talks about Gary Sanchez being ass. So like now, always like reliving that, I'm like, all right, he's ass. Like, there's no way you get hate that much from a Yankee fan unless you're really ass. So I think you guys got another catcher, a shortstop, Donaldson, and I think another player just for those two. I think that was really good trade.
Word. So I'm not too upset. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens there because we still got free agency going on. There's so many different people that have been rumored, like Freddie Freeman. It's gonna be wild. Yeah, it's gonna be wild, bro.
Let's just hope this isn't another like Giancarlo Stanton big trade. You get a nice player that had 20-some, 30 home runs in the season before, and now he's a strikeout machine because he's got pinstripes on. So just throw that out there.
I mean,
hope it's not that.
We still live in the situation that we live in every year where we need a pitcher. But
But why do you need a pitcher when why do you need a pitcher when you could just fucking have 30 everybody got 30 home runs, that's the motto of the Yankees.
15 relief pitchers that have the strongest bullpen that we never see because our pitchers are gonna load up.
God.
And then the Mets are the opposite, where they'll have starters that have to pitch like 9 innings because they have no bullpen.
You saw who they get yesterday? They got the kid from Oakland, right? On a trade.
Damn, I know exactly. Yeah.
I know.
It was, they got a
Fred,
relief pitcher.
Yeah, they got a relief pitcher, which now that's like what, the 5th, 6th pitcher that they've added on to their bullpen.
The Mets have been active, bro. Steve Cohen ain't playing that. He's like, yo, who want a bag? He's like, Oakland, you get a bag. You get a bag. Everybody get a bag.
Yeah, Chris Bassett.
There you go.
Yeah, Oakland Athletics. Yeah.
I mean, the Mets, they're favored. The number, it was 5, right, in the World Series.
Yeah, 5 in the power in the what is it called, power rankings. So what was it? I think 1. I forgot who 1 was. I think was it Dodgers. Yeah.
2 was the White Sox. 3 was Tampa, and 4 was the Yankees.
Yankees and the Mets. Yeah.
The Mets have been out here, bro. It's nice to see that they finally are utilizing money that they've had all this time because they don't got a cheap bastard owner.
And I was just gonna say, it's always funny that you look at the Mets and no one ever thinks of them as like a big market or having all this money like the Yankees, but they're a borough away. They're in the same market. They sell as many tickets as the Yankees do. Like they have a new stadium. Like they're not in fucking
Connecticut,
Long Island or Connecticut. Like they are right there, so they have the money to spend. So
it's nice to see.
Good to see it. And I mean, it's even just for the game of baseball, not even for Yankees Mets rivalry stuff. It's more for a fair playing field, good baseball. Not seeing teams completely suck ass for 10 years. So
like the Orioles.
Yeah, something like that. So.
Chris, you haven't been here in a minute, so there's a lot to talk about in the NBA world, bro. If you want to talk about yesterday with the Knicks, we can talk about that real quick. If you down for that, because I know you were watching that game.
No, I definitely was watching that game.
Talk about Julius Randle just had perfect timing, just turning the ball over and hitting a 3 on the other end. Chris, how you feeling about Julius Randle this year, bro?
so many opinions that I could say on Julius Randle. But all I'm gonna say is if he had a number one, or if he had another decent number two, they could be really good. But I think he's come to the point where like he's gonna put up his 30, 40 a game. He can give a shit less if they win. Obviously he may care if they win, but I feel like that's not in the top priority of his mind. I feel like getting his 30, 40, making sure he's all right. What's next season gonna entail for me? Kind of mindset is in his head because boy, have the Knicks like after the All-Star break really plummeted. What is their record after the All-Star break? Because I don't know. I know they went on like a streak where they were losing like 8 or 9 games in a row.
Yeah, they lost 8 in a row. There was a point they were like 3-18 in the last 21. Then they won like a 3-game winning streak when they beat the Kings,
the Mavs, like one other team.
One other team that was in the West. It just completely left my brain.
Yeah.
But then they ended up losing to Memphis and Brooklyn. Clippers, there you go. But yeah, we ended up losing to Memphis and the Nets. Ethan, what's your take? Outside looking in, bro. Should we just you know how I feel about the whole tanking thing, but what's your take on this?
This is hard to say because it's the Nets. The Nets are supposed to be amazing. You got KD, you got Kyrie. Kyrie wasn't playing yesterday because we all know the whole New York situation. But nah, yeah, y'all need a point guard. Y'all need to develop this young talent, and y'all need to get rid of Randall.
So you think we should just cut our losses on Randall, just call it a day?
He's gonna be at his peak now. If you don't want him being a role player or someone not that good or getting hurt, and you get nothing out of it, and then RJ and Fournier, and you definitely don't want that. I think that's at least trade Randall and see what we can get for him.
Yeah, and I mean, I said it right before the trade deadline. If y'all could have got something for him, they should have. I will die by that statement because they what can you get for him now this upcoming year? I mean, there's not that. Definitely not as much as you could have got coming off the season last year into this season. So.
I mean, we shouldn't even be in this predicament. We should have, traded him when we drafted Obi, but that's going to be a rabbit hole that we go into yet again. So let's not do all that. The Lakers, they got absolutely obliterated last night by the Suns. What do the Lakers do? Do you just shut everyone down at this point and just say LeBron go drop 60 a game, try to get that number one in the scoring history? Like, what do you do now? Do you shut LeBron down maybe? Like, what do you do now?
I'll let you go.
First things first, it's funny seeing Russell Westbrook on the Lakers. Like, it's just comedic at this point. Like, it's just funny to watch. LeBron just getting his stats at this point. Like, I don't even think he cares too much right now on winning. I know he wants to win, but no AD. You got Russell Westbrook at his second best player. He's just not happy.
I completely agree with you. I feel like that team needs to. I don't know, bro. They need to do is change the names to the goddamn retirement home. Okay, tired of seeing all these veterans on this team. Like it's kind of becoming much. Yesterday, I saw Melo playing basketball, and I was like, "Yo, Melo still plays basketball, son." I saw Russell Westbrook miss a layup. And I was like, yo, what is this? I was like, this looks like the Drew League. I don't know.
I think the craziest part about Melo is the fact, because I just want to bounce off of that, Chris, real quick, and I'll let you keep going. Melo has to be a big part of that team when he wasn't supposed to. He was just be scoring off and off the bench, keep him. Now they're like, yo, Melo, you're going to play like 30 minutes a game and be that guy, okay? Okay.
Facts.
But anyways, Chris, my bad. Keep going. I just wanted to sprinkle that in.
No, it's just the fact that they are a legitimate, they suck. They are not a good team. Like, they lost last night by 32 points. Like, I think the whole, aura around circling a team around LeBron, that era is done. LeBron needs to go to a team where he's going to be a support player now. He needs to make that shift in his career. And you could see it last night. He looked so frustrated when we were watching the game. I was like, they would pan in on his face, and he just looked so mad. And I was just like, all right, bro, it's that. Now maybe you do need to sit under, a what's it called, Antetokounmpo, or you need to sit under somebody like that. Be a good number 2, bro. You could win a championship that way.
That's actually a great take. Because, like, not even think about that, because we all think LeBron's, like, that number 1 no matter what. But to put him, like, next to, like, Giannis, that will win automatically.
Yeah. And I think not, like, bro, you gotta, like, he is in that shift in his career now, bro. He's 30-something years old. You know, his son's about to come into the league. Like, there's even rumors of him retiring. Like, he's past his stage where he's the number 1, like, you know. He's not in his prime. He's definitely not in his prime. He's definitely not at the peak of his game. I think if you play it the smart route and you want to win, you know, you don't put players like Carmelo Anthony, you know, Russell Westbrook, you know, those type guys next to him, because those guys are all like, you know, number 1, they're ball hogs. Like, you know, number 2, like, the dynamic doesn't fit well. I never thought that dynamic would have fit well with them. But I'm also a Westbrook hater, so I think any team Westbrook gets on, the dynamic doesn't fit well. But
I mean, looking at it, it's like, yo, they had Lonzo Ball, they had Kyle Kuzma, they had Brandon Ingram, they had Randall, they had D'Angelo Russell, they had Jordan Clark. Like, yo, if they would have kept that core intact somehow, I mean, granted, they probably wouldn't be able to keep Randall, Clarkson, you know, those people towards the end. But even when LeBron first got there, you keep Lonzo, you keep Brandon Ingram, you sign Anthony Davis straight up like that. That was really reminiscent of the Melo situation where you trade a bunch of young players. You could have kept them. And it kills you because Brandon Ingram becomes a monster-proof player. Lonzo Ball is a really important player on the Bulls now. Kyle Kuzma, everybody knew once LeBron got there, that's what really killed Kyle Kuzma. Because once LeBron stops playing, Kyle Kuzma starts playing good. Yep. So the fact that they traded all that for Anthony Davis when they could have just waited a year destroyed that team. And they should have just waited the year, and they could have easily been a way better team by now. And they don't have any draft picks until 2027, so it's nothing you can do because Westbrook ain't nobody trading for Westbrook. Like,
not for that contract. Hell no.
Yeah, he's gonna opt in probably to $40 million. I mean, like I said, I doubt he opts in because if he opts in, there's no way he's getting out of there. So he's gonna have to just not even opt into that contract. Take his money. He has a sneaker deal with Jordan. He has his own Jordan, and just keep moving. Do your fashion ish on the side and figure it out.
Thanks.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens down the stretch, man. Because they're in the play-in right now, and it's like, for what?
Yeah. How do you guys, not to switch subjects, but how do you guys feel about the whole Nets, Kyrie Irving, him sitting on the sideline situation?
I think it's probably the dumbest rule. I thought about that off rip. I thought, like, if you were going to have people that were unvaccinated and not play, it should have just been everybody. Like Toronto, where it's like, yo, if you're not vaccinated, you're not coming into Canada. I don't care. They should have just done that off rip because now you got that weird situation of, he could play when he's away, but, Bradley Beal, who's not vaccinated, can come into New York and play. Like, that's what really killed it. If it would have just been a straight up, like, no vaccine, no play, like, that would have been better. I don't know if you agree, E. I don't know if you think it should have been a different way.
He went to the locker room to talk to his teammates during halftime. I mean, you're already together. Like, what's the point?
He was in front row.
Like, it makes no sense to me either.
I think that's just, politics being politics. And unfortunately, he's getting stuck in that situation. Wish it could be different, but God knows when it's going to change. But
I just saw that video. I saw the video on Instagram, and I was like, "Yo, this nigga's really sitting like in the corner of like his bench. Like, what's the difference between him and like that 2 feet if he moves like to the left? Like this makes no sense at all." So, and I get the narrative and the agenda the mayor's trying to push to go get vaccinated, but like, y'all heard me first when this first came out that I thought Kyrie just needed to go get vaccinated, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, because the mayor even said that. They were like, "Oh, he could play. He gotta get vaccinated." I'm like, so now you changing how you sound? Like,
Yeah.
it's a really weird situation, man. Like, it just really is.
Chris, you ever got your take on the 76ers or harder than that beat?
Yeah, yeah. You weren't here for the Harden and B trade, and they got smoked by the Nets. How you feel about that?
No, I mean, yeah, 76 is definitely. I feel like 76ers definitely won that trade per se, maybe just because the dynamics a little better for Harden and Embiid. As you can see, they started off really hot when he got traded, and I think he may have found a home there. I don't think he jumps to another team from there on out. I think Harden, if he could, win a couple games, get close to an Eastern Conference final, he'll stay. But on the other side, I don't know what's going on with the Nets, bro. I don't know what they're gonna do with Ben Simmons. I don't know. I just don't know. So that's my take on it.
Word. Chris, really, like I said again, really glad to have you back, bro. Now we got a third opinion in here. Me and Ethan were just bouncing off of each other a lot. And now we got your takes. Your takes are very, very different than ours sometimes. Just like your 76ers take on them winning that trade. Some
Yeah,
people be
I don't
mad.
know. I thought the 76ers won just because of the dynamic that they're playing and the way that they are winning games and the way I feel like that team could go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They could definitely get close to that. I wouldn't say they win the Eastern Conference Finals, but they could make a push if they're both playing. A good duel. A good pick and roll. Action going on. I could see it, but I don't know. I'm just not convinced on Ben Simmons.
I feel you, bro. I think the main thing for Philly is they're still trying to find the number three. Because they don't know if it's going to be Tyrese Maxey because he's still young. And then Tobias Harris just forgot how to play basketball all of a sudden. So once they figure out who the
And
number three is.
And also, Ben Simmons isn't playing right now, so we haven't seen how that really, pans out for them per se. So, and I mean, do you guys even know how close he is to playing, or not at all?
He's only doing single person drills right now. He's not doing any contact drills. Every time he keeps trying to rev himself up, he gets a back injury. That leads me to believe that homie might have not been doing anything this whole time. So we don't know when we're getting Ben Simmons back, if we get Ben Simmons back this year.
Yeah. So, let's see.
E, what was your take on what's been going on with the Sixers, the Nets? Who's your favorites right now?
I mean, right now, the 76ers look like how they were separate. Embiid losing in the first round, Harden losing in the first round when he was at the Rockets. I see them still losing in like the first, second round because they just don't win games when they're supposed to. And they need like 50 free throws just to stay in the game rather than have a good field goal percentage. And just to leave off, people are calling Harden the honeymoon Harden. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. He's only good for like the first week, and that's it.
Let's see what
Yeah.
happens tonight. They play the Nuggets. If they can pull that game off, then we might be talking a little different by Friday. So we'll wrap it up there. Plenty of games tonight to watch.
Wow.
I'm going to see what happens because Friday we'll be talking about all the NFL deals that went down and the NBA again.
Facts.
Welcome back,
And
bro.
NCAA, real quick, give me a top two. Who's your top two, if y'all could?
List right now. E, you want to go first? I know you did a bracket. I don't know.
I definitely got the Zaga boys.
Zaga. Okay.
Maybe Nova, but like I'm not sold on them.
I was gonna go Gonzaga Nova.
I don't know if I'm sold on Nova though. Like I feel like they could lose in like a lucky game.
Probably. And low key, Baylor. I feel like Baylor is that sleeper team, even though they're not really a sleeper team. They're like ranked top four, and I think on whatever seed that they're in.
Number one.
Yeah. So
I don't like anybody this year. Like I'm looking at it, and if Baylor plays North Carolina, maybe plays Marquette or North Carolina in the first round. Both of those teams are always a hard out in the tournament, so maybe they lose to them. Then I look at Duke, and they just got the brakes beaten off of them by Virginia Tech. So I don't even know. I look at Gonzaga, like Gonzaga's the same situation every year. Of is this going to be the year? Oh, okay, no, okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Facts.
I'm gonna say Michigan because I feel like they got an easy path to victory, or Villanova. I think because Villanova and Michigan might end up playing each other, and I think whoever wins that ends up winning the whole thing.
All right, bet. Good quick take.
Word. We'll be back Friday. Can't wait to see y'all on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.